how I walk? Do you like how I talk? Do you like how my face disintegrates? I have a wonderful wife, I have a powerful job. She criticizes me for being egocentric. You practice your mannerisms into the wall. If this mirror were clear, I'd be standing so tall. I saw you stop her over clovers on the side of the hill. I was observing the birds. So the end of the kill. I've been you, I know your facade is a scam. You know you're making me cry, this is the way that I am. I've been living a lie, a metamorphical scheme. Objective undercover brotherhood, objective obscene. Oh no, no, oh yeah.
Hey besties, I decided that maybe I can do it today, okay? Maybe now's the time. Maybe now's the time. But you know what, no, not just me. We can do it today. You know that, guys? We can do it. We can clean our rooms. We can do our homework. We can eat 3 meals. You know, just okay. Just a little positivity check. You know, we can overcome. We can persevere. We can do anything we want to. This started out as a really stupid skit, but now I'm feeling emotional. You are worth a lot. Don't forget that.
I need to take a moment to contextualize this, right? Because I'm a transgender actor. My entire thing is under attack on a daily basis. My existence on TikTok means that I receive transphobic comments every single day. I want you to think about that when I say that this is literally the worst and most violent comment I have ever received.
Due to my strong personal convictions, I wish to stress that this record in no way endorses a belief in the occult.
New trend. Kiss your pet on the head and see the reaction.
The ocean want you. Let's find out.
So little birdie told me you want me.
Oh my god, I told them not to tell you, but yeah, I think you're cute.
Oh, stop.
I think you're cute too.
Really? I've been dating the ocean.
I was a sprinkles guy when I was younger with ice cream, so I appreciate this.
You look like a sprinkles guy.
What the f*** is that supposed to mean?
I'm just saying you look like a sprinkles guy.
Okay, don't ask me why I didn't come out of the closet yet. What you fail to understand is that closets are for normal people to come out of. I am not normal. My identity equals 0. I am aromantic, asexual, and agender. That means I have nothing. I am a bundle of gay nothingness. If I came out of the closet, I would be a ghost. A gay ghost.
I'm the gayest person in this arcade. We are the gayest people in this arcade. I'm the gayest person on this boardwalk. I'm the gayest person on this beach. I'm the gayest person on these rocks. I'm the gayest person in this pinball museum.
Okay, this is part 2 of 100% accurate what you need to hear based on your favorite trope from a clinical psych major. If your favorite is love triangle, then have you tried going to therapy to try and work out why you're so goddamn indecisive and have a crippling fear of responsibility? You should. If your favorite is hurt, no comfort. Baby, one therapist isn't enough. If your favorite trope is character A comforts character B after a nightmare, I'm really sorry that whoever it was discredited your trauma and you're hurting like that. You didn't deserve that. You deserve love and healing and support. But also, have you tried therapy?
I have to tell you guys what happened at work the other day. So I was at work and this customer came up to me and she was like, "Are you a ma'am or a sir?" And I looked at her and I was like, "Neither." And she like got really confused, kind of had a face of like, am I angry? Am I not angry? I just don't get it. So then like she did nothing. She was just like, well, my fellow American. It took everything in me not to lose it. I was just sitting there like, I was like, yeah.
This is part 2 of me judging you based off your favorite Will Wood song. Chemical overreaction. I promise you that a truly bad person is not going to spend this much time agonizing over whether or not they're a bad person. Suburbia Overture. You definitely had like a Melanie Martinez phase at an age way too young to be into Melanie Martinez. You're still probably like pretty edgy, but I'll let it slide because you have good taste. Coach Solution. You're like the epitome of the phrase, one day I am going to snap, but instead of like actually snapping, you just start crying when people talk to you. Hot theater kid. But also, if you ever need someone to talk to about your shitty therapist, I am always there. You've always told yourself that you take pride in being a weird person, but that's really just a defense mechanism for not really being able to connect with other people. I'm at gender dysphoria. I'm at the body dysmorphia. I'm at the combination gender dysphoria body dysmorphia.
When I was small, I invented a career for myself. I was an X maker, and it's easier if I just show you what that looked like. Hi. Hi. Do you want me to make you an X? An X? Like the letter X? Yeah, that would be great. Here you go. Thank you. It was not a great business model, but it was a profound postmodern art series. Anyway, I've started doing that again.
Us here at Big Corporation are running a fundraiser. Would you like to donate? I don't know, would you? Out of the two of us, me being an unemployed 21-year-old and you being a multi-billion-dollar company, who do you think is more equipped to be asking that question, Who do you think should be donating? Who exactly has all the money here?
Oh yeah, there's just another little historical thing I want to set the record straight on. There's a bunch of people who are like, ooh, but this culture of pedophilia does exist because grown men used to marry 12-year-olds, which is a gross misinterpretation of historical reality. Did grown men get married to 12-year-olds during the Renaissance? Yes. Did they have sex with them? No! Jesus! The reason these grown men were marrying these young girls was because marriages were arranged for political reasons. But they wouldn't actually consummate the marriage until the girl was 16 or 17, which yes, is still weird by modern standards, but it's not like, ugh. Because sex in the Renaissance was for the sake of procreation. You are doing this to birth heirs. Which is why the naked ladies in Renaissance paintings have such wide hips. A sexy woman was one who could fart out a lot of babies. And yes, it is technically possible to impregnate some very young people. But if you want your kid and your wife to survive childbirth, it's generally a good idea to wait a little bit. And Renaissance men had a high investment in keeping their wives alive because of child mortality rates. You need to pop out at least 8 or 9 kids to have a male heir that survives into adulthood.
You know, I find it absolutely insane that last year I genuinely thought that I was a cis lesbian saying kill all men. And now, I'm questioning whether or not I'm a queer trans guy. Listen, I don't know what kind of thing the universe is playing, but all I gotta say is lesson learned. I was deep in the closet.
I just wish I were a man, you know? Well, you're already a man to me. No, like, I want to be a male man. You want to be a mailman? Yeah, like a mailman with a... You know what? You should work at Adam and Eve. The online company. Yes, you can make deliveries for them. That way, you would be a mailman with... Wait, are you actually the doctor? I came here for a referral for bottom surgery. No, I just sleep here sometimes, and I really like the way the coat looks. You're not wearing a coat. Yeah, I am. I've been flipping the hood up and down. We're the same person. This is a sketch. Guys, the corporate bigwigs up at TikTok are trying to censor the little guy because they're fascists and they keep taking this video down. So spread the word. It's really important.
I have made perhaps the most important discovery about men in the last 76 years. When a woman is catcalled, the reaction is generally negative, but a guy is always like, yeah, well, I wish I'd get complimented. That's because guys don't generally get complimented. I mean, I do because I am just unbelievably hot, but that's not a fair comparison. Why aren't guys complimented more? Because when they are, their reaction is, oh, she wants to fuck. So what's the solution? Well, I can tell you what it's not. The solution is not for women to compliment guys more so that it's more normalized. That's not what we need to do. Instead, guys, listen up real quick. Maybe from now on, when a woman says, hey, I like your pants, your first thought shouldn't be she wants to get in your pants. Your first thought should be, she likes my pants. I should say thank you and move on. And just to reiterate the most important part of this video, I am incredibly sexy.
thinking about how when I was 13 or so, I went to this fancy upscale art thing in Homestuck Nepeta cosplay because I wanted pictures. But the thing is, everybody thought I was part of the art exhibit somehow, and the sheer amount of tourists that asked for my picture. So my Homestuck cosplay is probably being presented as some cool art thing on some old rich lady's Facebook.
I ran out of time, so here's part 2. So being FTM, he would be female on the outside, male on the inside. We see him in his regular human form. He has wider hips, narrow shoulders, and a smaller neck and a rounder face, bigger eyes. Those are feminine features. Then when he goes ghost, which is more likely to be a representation of his soul, he has broader shoulders, a narrower waist, and a wider, more squared off jaw. These are masculine features. Another supporting factor is that his clone is female. Scientifically speaking, if you're cloning something, you can't change the sex. Finally, we have the episode with the genie. She asks him what his wish is, and he gets defensive. And then upon saying, surely there must be something, she reaches out for his chest, and he freaks out. Personally, yeah, same, that's how I would react. Creator of the show, Butch Hartman, has said that this is not a canon theory, but he's also not one of the animators and not one of the writers. This allows room to believe that perhaps the writers and animators did include these context clues on purpose. But once again, this is just a headcanon. Thank you for your time.
What your favorite Lil Wood song says about you, part 3, baby. Okay, so there are like 2 potential sides to this one. Either you're sick of being the therapist / moderator friend, or you're just really, really edgy and you're on thin fucking ice. If your favorite is Laplace's Angel, you absolutely have like gifted kid burnout and you're ready to run away and become the villain. If you like Front Street, you've probably danced to it and felt really bad afterwards, and also you have to stop praising people so much for doing the bare minimum. You're either an Unis Honest fan and a Series of Unfortunate Events fan, or you're just constantly on the verge of spiraling into an existential crisis. The mental illness didn't take away your romantic side, and I think that's beautiful. The mental illness gave you your romantic side, and you probably think it's really cute to, like, sleep with a lock of your partner's hair under your pillow. You're worried people will judge the real you, and you put on a different mask for every different person you talk to, and you have no idea who you are anymore. Also, you're non-binary.
I didn't hear about this one until now, so let's go. To start this theory off, we have an episode showing Mr. and Mrs. Turner when they're about to start a family. We see that they bought a bunch of girl things, including Timmy's hat. There are also references of Timmy wearing girls' clothing in his baby pictures, and it's visually apparent that this makes Timmy uncomfortable. The gist of the headcanon is that upon Timmy coming out as transgender, he wishes to Cosmo only that nobody remembers him as a girl. Supporting this theory, in the episode where Timmy wishes that he never existed, his parents have a daughter. We also have this moment upon the concept of Timmy wishing to be a girl. He mentions that it would be a waste of a wish. This would be because it would essentially just reverse the memory altering one he's already made. He's also saying it to Cosmo because Cosmo and him are the only 2 that remember him being AFAB. Further support this in the episode where Wanda turns Timmy into a girl. Cosmo immediately starts panicking because he knows that this would make Timmy really dysphoric. I like this because it makes Cosmo a little bit smarter than he's intended to come off as. And that's the Timmy Turner is trans headcanon. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for your time.
Look, I'm a man, and I like that. Like, masculinity, you know, testosterone, all the goodness that comes with that. I like it. But painted nails, fuck. Rings, fuck. This pearl necklace, fucks. And I fuck. I'm not a pick-me because I wear this stuff. I wear it because I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. And it does look really, I mean, come on. I like it!
Since you're playing alone, you'll be answering twice. Be easy for you Geminis.
How did he know I was a Gemini? What the fuck? I did not put my birthday in!
Judging you based off your favorite Will Wood song, part 4. 6up50 cop out. You've definitely described your music taste unironically as cabaret punk, and you were also a leftist before it was cool. Red Moon, you spend way too much time dwelling on the past and your missed opportunities, and you've also definitely said the phrase, I'm a woman, in the same way a ship is a woman at least once. You at some point were probably really into like animation memes. There's also a non-zero chance that you might be a furry, and I love that for you. Similarly to Hand Me My Shovel, if your favorite song is the song with 5 names, I would like to remind you that you are in fact deserving of help, and it's okay if you don't fully understand your identity. Stop trying to drown your sorrows in hyperpop. At best, it's a temporary band-aid solution. At worst, it's going to have serious, long-lasting effects on your mental health.
Proof that your cat just wants to copy you.
Something
else I've been thinking about a lot recently is why it's so personally upsetting to me that our society devalues and ridicules everything that teenage girls enjoy. And the conclusion that I've reached is that not only is it annoying, and it really is, it's also the fact that it strips so much of the complexity from teenage girlhood that anyone who has been a teenage girl can tell you is so prevalent. The psychology of the adolescent girl is so fascinating to me, and I feel that we as a culture have failed to explore it in a way that does it justice. The thing that kind of prompted this train of thought was when I watched the show Dare Me on Netflix, and the way that show explores the complexity of female relationships and friendships, and the way that they can take on an obsessive nature, especially within that adolescent time frame period, is so interesting. It's something that I lived and experienced, that emotional warfare that teenage girls are capable of, that we saw in Mean Girls. And I just think it's something that we need to explore more. Directly after that, I watched The Wilds, which delves even further into the psychology of the teenage girl and how the patriarchy has affected that. And I want to see more shows about this. Like, I want...
Who wants an omelet? Because we're cracking some eggs tonight. A quick definition in case you don't know. An egg is a trans person that hasn't realized that they're trans yet. An egg is not something that we call people or else. But for trans people that have realized that they're trans, it's a fun retroactive sort of exercise. Because with the perfection of hindsight, it's usually pretty obvious. And the moment you realize we refer to as cracking the egg. Ew. I've been on hormones too long. I'm not used to cleanup. Don't miss that. Thank you, I am very brave for checking my trans femme privilege. What's the moment that cracked your egg? Can I go first? Somebody told me it was very refreshing to see a guy who was willing to wear dresses for costume parties outside of Halloween. I didn't know why it was breaking my heart. I went home that day and realized it's because I'm not a man. And now I'm the good Christian trad wife that my parents always wanted. With you, my hundreds of lovely children. Twins, Annabelle? Really? That's a lot.
Biggest takeaway from people depending on what their favorite ghost song is. This is definitely a self-call-out post, but let's go along with it anyways. Favorite is the distortion, is the taking revenge on all those people who wronged you and hurt you the most, and yet still played the victim. Just sounds like the best thing that could ever happen to you, and I mean with extreme violence. Extreme violent if it's appetite of a people pleaser. You are also probably a pleasure to have in class by all of your teachers, and any sense of personality you have was built around what other people wanted for you for years. The shattering lack of common sense, then all those years of masking have finally built up, and those masks that you've been wearing around people your entire life has finally started to crack, and now you're scared to see what your actual personality is because you have no fucking idea. If your favorite is Hannah M. Home, you may or may not have an addictive personality, because having an addiction of any kind is the only thing keeping you grounded. But also, how was that religious trauma? Are you working through your religious trauma?
You know, I'm really sick of, like, the fear-mongering surrounding testosterone. Like, I'm sick of it. Of course it's okay to be afraid to go on T. Like, it's a hormone that changes your body. Like, it's a little nerve-wracking because some of the effects are permanent. Like, it's a pretty big decision. But, oh my god, the fear-mongering is totally unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. And honestly, mostly started by TERFs. So, here's my experience. When I went on T, I loved every second of it. I was on for 9 months, and there were no parts of it I did not enjoy. That's the truth. Genuinely and honestly, that is the truth. And I know, like, my experience is just for me. No, it's not like one size fits all, but I just don't think, I see fear-mongering about tea, and it makes me so angry, because it's something that could help a lot of people who do not deserve to be terrified of it, because it's not terrifying.
We need to address a serious issue in the LGBT community. Lady Gaga Oreos are really only for twinks. I don't feel like every other member of the LGBT community is represented by these. They're not a gay Oreo, they're a twink Oreo. So I've decided to solve this problem. You know them, you love them, lesbians get the mint Oreo. It's just objectively the best. Next up is gay men. We addressed that the Chromatica Oreo is for twinks, but I feel like there's not a lot for the rest of the community, so they get chocolate Oreos. Double stuffed Oreos are inherently bisexual. I cannot explain it. There's no logic to it. I just feel it. I just know it. I also can't explain this one, but peanut butter Oreos just have trans guy energy. I wish all trans women a very strawberry shortcake Oreo. In preparation for this video, I FaceTimed my non-binary friend and I said, Mace, if any Oreo were to have non-binary energy, and as I said, the lemon one, they said, I really like the lemon ones. Case closed.